Hello viewers, welcome to GW Prime Live. Although wildfires are a natural occurrence within some forest ecosystems, fire seasons are becoming more extreme and widespread. Wildfire causes dislocation, economic losses, and cost hundreds of lives. Global wildfire losses between 2018 and 2022 was around $39 billion. To discuss on how the geospatial data and AI can help in preventing wildfire cases, here with us we have today Abhishek Singh, CEO AiDash. Welcome Abhishek.
Hello everyone, thanks.
So AiDash is an enterprise SaaS company making critical infrastructure industries climate resilient and sustainable with satellites and AI. So my first question is, please tell us about the role of data in preventing wildfires.
Okay, this is a small question, but it will have a long answer. So, when we talk
Please
of
go ahead.
wildfire, there is
Yeah.
a natural wildfire which happens everywhere, right? In forests, even in Alaska, that wildfire happens. Those are good for planet Earth. Those wildfires change the cycle of trees, vegetation, and help help the planet. But the wildfire we are talking here is wildfire which is caused by human interaction. So ignition is caused somehow by human interaction. The way it can happen is maybe the tree touches the power line to cause an ignition, and then it spreads, right? So those are the wildfire we are looking to stop. This happens a lot in US, in California, for example. In Australia, bushfires are famous, caused because of trees interacting the power line. And that is where we use satellite and data and AI to basically look into each and every tree along their power line infrastructure and ensure that they are at safe distance. And that's how we help avoid wildfire using data.
So, how can artificial intelligence cut down the risk of forest fires, and can these systems be deployed at scale?
Yes, the systems are indeed already deployed at scale with because of simple reason that the technology which we are seeing to monitor these power lines and trees is satellite. And satellite takes several revolutions of Earth every day. As a result, we can scan 10, 20,000 kilometers of line just in a single day and identify and count each and every tree which can touch the power line, all using computer vision and AI, and then send the tasks to the crew to actually trim those trees to create a safe buffer distance between tree and power line. Other thing is weather. We also observe weather. So weather dictates how fast the trees are moving. If there are unhealthy trees which can fall on power line, those unhealthy trees then need to be removed. So it's all done at scale today.
Can you shed some light on uses of satellite analysis on wildfire and risk mitigation?
Yeah, there are multiple uses. And please let's understand that satellite, when you talk of satellite, it's not just visual band, it has multiple bands of information. RGB, which helps us see. So that is how we can see tree and its distance from power line. Then we have near infrared and coastal blue band, which help us identify other things. Near infrared and reddish band, for example, tells us about the health of tree, chlorophyll content of the tree, moisture of the grasses. So if an ignition happens, will it spread or it will just die down? So that's what they tell. Then we have thermal sensors on satellite, which gives us a very granular idea of what is the ground surface temperature or any pixel we are monitoring. So all these informations are combined together to create a wildfire ignition map, risk map, and wildfire spread risk map, which is then used for mitigation and avoidance of wildfire.
So, wildfire causes a lot of carbon emissions. Do you think mitigating wildfire eruptions will help in meeting United Nations 2030 climate goals?
Absolutely, this is one critical aspect. While the carbon emissions due to wildfire is significant, I mean, you'll be surprised I'm living in Bay Area, California since 2014. There was one major wildfire in 2 years, almost 2 years or so back, when the sky was orange. It may be maybe 3 years back, I don't remember the exact date, but sky was orange. Sky remained orange for a couple of days. And
Right.
these are also where wildfire is even at a far distance because of wind. The land remains smoggy and pollution becomes bad.
So, how do we utilize advanced geospatial technologies to transform wildfire management?
Yeah. So one is prevention. So using the technology, doing maintenance activities to prevent the wildfire. As we monitor, if we see an ignition risk, can we immediately send a fire crew to fix that? So these are what we're there for, both prevention and mitigation. Then, as the wildfire spreads, can we constantly monitor and apply resources to stop those wildfire in the direction where the wildfire is stretching, spreading, as measured from satellite as well as other sources.
The El Nino phenomena, which is currently growing and is expected to influence weather extremes in many parts of the world. How can data and analytics play a role in equipping communities around the globe to face the effects of climate related events?
Okay, so there is one aspect is that okay, this climate. So this year is going, El Nino is going to be major or minor. The effect is going to be major or minor. That's a knowledge of climate. Now, what does that translate to human being, to our lives, is what determines what how we are well prepared to fix that. Does it mean it will snow more in my area? If so, yeah, this is a good time for ski resorts. They can plan accordingly. They can plan an extended season. Does it mean it will be too hot and dry in my area? So can local community exercise some water preservation activities, storage of water in reservoirs much sooner than that dry spell hits? So that's how those are the activities we can do preemptively to manage better when the actual weather adversity hits.
So, when it comes to climate related events, I think the communities who are less equipped, I think they are the ones who face the wrath of climate change and especially these wildfires. How can we develop a system or how can we work on the policy side of the things to equip them more or to help them handle the situation better?
Yeah, so and this goes well for both wildfire and storm. In fact, so as we predict some likelihood of a major wildfire or storm, in the short term basis, can we relocate those people for some time? Right?
Mhm.
That is something which can immediately save lives. So that's the biggest and immediate impact, saving immediate lives. On longer term basis, if there are areas which are prone to high risk, can we help them? I mean, what happens is that insurance's price is increasing significantly in areas where wildfire risk is increasing. Can there be some government subsidy or some policy matter which forces insurance companies not to increase premium on basis of just wildfire risk because it's not a level playing field? So those are certain activities we can do.
Also, AI and data, geospatial data is also used in a lot of uh, agriculture. So,
Yes.
but it is not widespread in several parts of the world. How can we make it accessible for small town farmers?
Yeah. So this is very good question. And honestly, data is available for agriculture. Many companies have tried to build business around using AI satellite data for agriculture. Technology is there. You can identify and predict the growth, how much this year sugar would grow, how much damages to crops are happening. So lots of use cases are there, which can also help farmers. We can tell farmer if there's a weed infestation much sooner so that they can fix it. The challenge, so technically we are there, but there's a business challenge. The cost at which the right technology is available today is relatively higher, and the farmers themselves will not be in a position to pay for that. So somehow this
Right.
cost has to be paid by government or some other body. And that until that problem is fixed, commercialization of using AI as a technology for agriculture will be limited to large land holdings in developed economies, which is not the intent. The real value is in developing economies with small land holdings. And that is where we need some support from government and other bodies.
What I gather from your answer is that there are technology advancements happening, but the gap is so much that it is not reaching to the people who actually need it or who it is actually is meant for.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, how can we harness the power of geospatial technology and take meaningful steps towards a safer and more resilient future?
So we have to take baby steps, right? So, for example, storm cannot be avoided. If a storm is coming, it is coming. But we can
Right,
prepare ourselves better for that storm to minimize the damage and minimize the impact on lives. When a winter storm hits in a very cold place, apart from the inconvenience, there's also sometimes death because this heating is not working for several days. So those effects can be minimized by improving the restoration time. On the contrary, wildfire is something which can be completely avoided and should be completely avoided. So all the ignition risks of wildfire should be removed by right maintenance of assets and surroundings like vegetation so that wildfire risks reduce. The third aspect is disaster management. Like
right.
in India, we saw there was a major flash flood in Uttarakhand. People were trapped and caught in various islands. Help took a lot of time to reach there, and practically because weather is bad, you cannot fly helicopters. So how do you know where people are trapped? But that's where satellite and AI can penetrate through the cloud. The SAR satellite can penetrate through the cloud. They can see where people are stationed, and help can be sent sooner. If not help, at least ration, the food can be dropped till the time the help to lift them off comes. So there are various activities, significant improvements can be done towards management of any disaster event, whether it's flood, whether it's earthquake, whether it's wildfire.
So, like you mentioned, Australia and California, they are facing the biggest wildfires around the world. So, how can mapping data, or what role does mapping data play in,
Yeah,
helping those people or
yeah.
mitigate this?
So mapping data is very important. So what happens historically with the state of California and other states which are at wildfire risks have been classified into certain wildfire risk zones called view tiers. That's tier one, tier two, tier three. Tier three, which means one is low wildfire risk, one is high wildfire risk. But this is static data. Today, the wildfire is happening in areas where did not happen in past. It's happening in seasons, including winter, where it did not happen in past. So these static
That's
maps are not so relevant. What is needed is a real-time risk map of wildfire. So, for example, AiDash as a company produces a real-time wildfire risk map at a 30 meter by 30 meter pixel or 100 feet by 100 feet pixel. So the real-time risk map, when it is used in decision making, we can significantly act much sooner. And that is where the maps are there. We should prepare these maps, distribute it to wildfire departments, industries like utilities, which see more risks, as well as people who are living in those areas, so that communities which are serving them to really help minimize the risks.
so. Lastly, tell us what is the future roadmap of AI Dash?
So at Dash, we are growing pretty fast. I mean, since we incorporated in 2019, every year we have more than doubled. We will double for 3 more years, and then we should be ringing the bell, go IPO. That's our goal.
Thank you, Abhishek, for this interesting conversation on the role of AI in climate change mitigation. Any message you would like to give to the entrepreneurs who are looking forward to their work in AI in climate change mitigation?
Absolutely. So AI is very powerful. It can do hundreds of things. There are many use cases which are unsolved but can still be solved. They may have less business value today, but business value will come, and there are right investors in climate tech who are investing. So I would say we should not shy away from attempting problems which seem either difficult to solve or business case is not strong enough. We should go with conviction because today investment market, the money from investors is the easiest thing to come. So we'll, and with so many climate tech investment and government and UN and other funds which are available, money would be simplest of the problem if we tackle these problems. So we should attempt the problem, money will follow.
Thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
us.
yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks everyone. Bye.